this particular program will benefit you. For example, when you go for a company where, let's take an example. You know very well about Azure Cloud. Just example, I'm just telling. That doesn't mean that you should be strong in this particular program. No need. No prerequisite required. No prerequisite required. Even non-IT engineer also, I can make them the cloud DevOps engineer. Okay. So the point here is, for example, when you go for a company where that company is asking you, you have a strong skill on Azure Cloud, but they have a project or they got a project on GCP. They're asking you to do the GCP DevOps project or GCP architecture or GCP some project, but you don't know how to do that. At that particular moment, usually what you will do, either you will depend upon a person who already working in GCP, or you will come for a training and you will learn it, but you don't have time. Actually, you don't have time. Usually, when you move to a company, I don't think so. They will allow you to learn for 2 3 months, then come for the project. That and all will never happen. But what exactly the thought I got behind this program is, whatever may be the cloud your service company is asking you, doesn't matter for you. The top three clouds I consider, top three only. I'm not considering any Alibaba or IBM or any other cloud which are holding very less share in the market. I'm not considering those. I'm considering Azure, AWS, and GCP. I'm considering these three, and I'm planning to deliver these three with the latest concepts and techniques. Again, telling it is not a just a theoretical discussion or theory. I don't know how many of you attended my previous sessions. Most of the guys, I believe, already attended my previous sessions. You guys already aware about me, how I deal the sessions. That's purely practical and real-time projects and problem statements only, because I'm working in the multi-cloud. Okay, that's an advantage for me. So in this, guys can please be on mute. Okay, I'll give you a chance to raise your questions also. Don't worry. So in this particular program, we are not only covering DevOps, you will get a solid understanding on security as well. That's another advantage for you. See, some job posting, job descriptions still today I'm seeing. See, this particular program being designed by considering job postings also. By just filtering some 100 to 150 job postings on the DevOps and architect, I prepared the syllabus. Okay. But what I understand overall, they are asking in some cases out of if I see some 150 job postings, out of this 150, they are at least asking some 25 to 30 with security. They're asking that. But the point is, you don't have any security background. DevSecOps, DevSecOps is simply a security integration. You may think, okay, just security, just integration is fine. No, that doesn't give any value to you. You should understand what is SQL injection, what is Castle scripting, what is IDOR, how exactly these things works. You should understand the concept team in cybersecurity. So then easily you can understand the security, and especially the Kubernetes security, which is CKS certifications going forward. And I'm assuring you one more thing. I will help you and I will train you in CKA and CKS certifications. Even I can assure you or I can assist you on the cloud architects certifications also. But I'm thinking time may not be enough for us. Okay. Because definitely it will take a very long time. But I can assist you how exactly you should attempt that exam. Okay. Those things will be covered, guys. Okay. So my goal here is to just make you and to make you very strong in DevOps concepts along with multi-cloud very core services. Those are core services for you out there. You must know those things. Without those, you cannot do project. Those part, along with that security, and of course, we need automation. Here, I'm planning to cover automation with Terraform and Ansible. I believe these two are much needed nowadays. Okay. And this is not with the basics and all. This is with the project and the real-time problem statements and scenarios. Okay. All right, Tim. Now you can raise your questions. Let's take questions for 5 minutes before jumping into the syllabus part. Then we can discuss. Yeah. If you have anything, maybe you can raise your questions, Tim. Guys, you're there, right? So no questions. That's really good. No questions. Okay. You guys are able to unmute yourself or not? Any problem? Generally, I will see some questions, but I'm not seeing any questions. Is there any problem from your end, guys? All right. But guys are able to hear me, right? Please
Yes,
message
we
me
can
yes
hear
in the.
you.
Yes, yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Yes.
That's okay.
yes.
That's fine. That's all right. Okay. Let's move on. I'll give chance again. Don't worry. Okay. I'll give chance again to rise again. Raise the questions. Okay. All right. I prepared this set of table of contents, guys. Okay. See, I'm not I'm not really considering few unnecessary things which were there in my syllabus earlier, which are not really adding a value for their careers. Okay. For example, earlier I was teaching Selenium. Earlier I was teaching some JMeter. These things also I was teaching. I felt okay, those are also needed, but all the not for all the DevOps guys, maybe 1% or 0.5%. I don't want to cover that area. But if you really guys needed that one, maybe you can connect with me later. Okay. You need some JMeter requirement or something. I can take such things as part of add-ons or some bonus sections. Okay. One session is enough, such cases. All right. If you see this one team, especially, so what are the things you are seeing on the screen? Here, cloud networking services. This is the key thing exactly required for your further career team. This is important actually. Cloud networking services. You know why? If you don't understand the cloud networking services, you know what will happen? It's very difficult to set up a project in the cloud, no doubt in that. It's very difficult, guys. So meaning that how VPC will be there, how you need to set up the subnet, how you need to plan the security group, how you need to attach IGW internet gateway or NAT gateway, how you can plan the route tables. See, cloud to cloud concept will vary, team. But underlying technology, underlying behavior is same. But the terminology is different and activity tasks are different. If you understand Azure Cloud VNet, that doesn't mean that you will be strong in AWS VPC. AWS VPC is somehow what I see. AWS VPC is giving a very good value add when you're setting up a VPC, a custom VPC where you need to provision the subnets, public subnet, private subnet, IGW, NGW, all these things, right? Sorry, NAT. All these things you will attach by your own and you will add the route tables. These and all automatically ready in Azure. You no need to do it in Azure. So same case in GCP also. So that's the point exactly. You should be very strong in this area first. If you are very good here, you know how to handle where the traffic is blocked, how the traffic is traveling, those things and all you can definitely easily understand. And you can understand very well about the ports, inbound and outbound security rules as well. And I just prepared some common services. So, meaning that, for example, the VMs are the common thing which you should understand about the virtual machine and the databases, how to connect a virtual machine, how to connect a database, how to connect a virtual machine, and also in real time, your stakeholder will keep on ask you, hey, how I can make a connection to your private database. I'm running with a public network at my home. Is there any way to connect with your private database? Maybe your PO or BA may ask you. You should be able to support them. Concept is same across all the cloud. That concepts exactly we will discuss here. The how exactly, which port you should open, each and everything we will discuss here. Next, cloud storage services. This particular thing is for as a DevOps engineer, this is not so important, but I'm still covering this one because I need some storage services when we are dealing with the Kubernetes, especially on the persistent volumes. When I'm dealing with this particular part, you may need to store your data into these particular storage services, such as you can consider this particular thing in Azure Files or Azure Blobs, or if you go for a AWS S3, or if you go for the GCP, you can go for the cloud storage. So these things definitely I'm going to mount from the Kubernetes so that you will come across these concepts also. That's what exactly I placed here. See, you being covered with networking, you've been covered with the VMs and the databases, you've been covered with the storage services. That's a level one. Then we are going for exactly our Docker concept. So what exactly the Docker? How exactly you need to prepare a Docker file? What advantages we are getting? What is containerization? Why containerization is better than virtualization? Those parts and all we will understand here. Once you're very strong in preparing a custom Docker image, you will be taught very deeply, especially on the Docker, guys. The reason for that one, without Docker basics, you cannot understand Kubernetes. Okay, we cannot understand Kubernetes. That's where immediately I'm going for the Docker projects. In some cases, in real time also, maybe not all the clients, not all the customers are very much strong in the Kubernetes. Some cases they may ask you prepare a Docker project. Still, simple Docker project. How to deploy a Docker project? How to deploy Springboard? How to deploy React? How to deploy Angular? How to deploy Python? I'm going to show you the practical part of the Docker projects in multi-cloud, Azure, AWS, and GCP. Okay, same project I will take. I will simulate that one by using your DevOps, by using your Azure DevOps, by using your AWS DevOps, by using your GCP DevOps. I'm going to use their services and I will show you the deployment part. Here you will get a solid idea about the DevOps services, what exactly the clouds are using. There comes the important one, which is the Kubernetes. If I write your intent Kubernetes project, don't think like, okay, directly I'll deal the project and all because you don't know the basics, how I can deal the project. That is impossible. I'll show the content also, what I prepared later. So, as part of the Kubernetes, I want to give in detail about the Kubernetes team. In detail. I don't want to cover the Kubernetes on a high level with some security config maps or secrets. Not like simple manifest. I just want to give in detail by taking a scenario example like some STO, some prompt low key, these kind of observability stack I want to add. So as part of the Kubernetes, I will cover your observability stack also. Maybe the Prometheus, Grafana is a common thing where everyone can use. But I just want to use a little advanced, which is a Promptail, Loki, and Grafana dashboard. This combination we'll try to use. So my intention is whatever is trendy in the market, we will pull that, we will integrate that. If already there in the market, where I think it's going to be gray out, let's hold that. Let's pick up the trendy one. Let's pick up, if you say something for the interview during the interview process, yes, I say I know about the prompt Loki, and I know how to configure the multi-cluster in a master and slave mode. That makes really proper sense because interviewer doesn't know that. Okay, always you should have more knowledge than the interviewer. Okay, if you could achieve that, automatically you will be in. The job is with you, no doubt in that. Yeah, if your knowledge is less than that guy, obviously you will be in queue. Okay, that's a simple basic. Okay, you should cross his knowledge. So to cross his knowledge, you should learn the trendy technologies. If it is an already existing technology which everyone is using, which is going to be gray out, that one really doesn't work out. No, I'm not saying that we should not learn that. We should learn that. Along with that, we should touch the latest technique as well. If you don't touch the latest technique, again you will be struggle. When you go for the interview, that guy will ask, "Do you know anything about the prompt Loki? Do you know anything about the ELK? Do you know anything about the Datadog? Do you know anything about the vector by Datadog?" How exactly you will just sort out my logging systems, logging and monitoring? You tell me, do you have any way? These things you should answer. You should say, yes, I have few ways to sort it out. If you want open source, of course we can go. If you want license, of course we can go in this way. You should talk in this way. You should just mention them. We have a lot of ways. Whatever the option you are just preferring, I think we can pick it up. Okay, in that way you should talk. To talk like that, you should know the concept. No, that's the only difference, Tim. You should know more. Then you will definitely talk more. Okay, right. The next one, interesting one, the DevSecOps model, especially I'm just integrating security with Azure DevOps. I'm integrating security with the Jenkins. You know why I add Jenkins? I saw a lot of job postings. They're asking Jenkins, Jenkins, Jenkins. Though you learned Azure DevOps, they will ask Jenkins. Do you know Jenkins or not? My intention is you should not miss that question. You should not say no. You should say yes, I know. Yes, I know. I did Jenkins with multi-cloud. It is not a single cloud. It's a multi-cloud. So meaning that Jenkins will be there. Jenkins will deploy to Amazon EKS. Jenkins will deploy to GCP. Jenkins will deploy to Azure. This combination is awesome, right? This combination is awesome actually. If Jenkins is deploying into the VM, everyone can do. Of course, I will cover that. But that is easy. But when you connect to the other cloud, that makes sense actually. That is what exactly you should know. Okay. And especially in the DevSecOps model, you will be covered with SAS, DAS dependency checks, and followed by the image scanning by using Trivi, and followed by CKS, Kubernetes security best practices I will cover. Okay, those are enough actually for you as part of your DevSecOps model. And very interesting one, Argo CD with Helm charts. If you know only Kubernetes manifest, I don't think so you can survive in the market at this moment. They will ask, do you know Helm charts or not? They will ask, do you know how to manage the Helm charts by using Argo CD or Flux CD or not? These questions they will ask. This is really very important for Argo CD with the Helm chart. This is your game changer, this particular part. Okay. When you say you know this and you know how to implement this part, you're almost in. You know why? If you know this one, you must know Kubernetes. Otherwise, you cannot deal this case. These two are a combination. Okay, the Kubernetes Argo CD Helm charts, and that too Argo CD. By using Argo CD, similar to this one, I'll deploy service to multi-cloud, not only with the specific cloud. See that combinations you should understand. Always just focus on the multi-tenant case. Okay, not on the single tenant. Then your knowledge will be different. Your expertise skills will be different. Last two, mastering Terraform, mastering Ansible. These two I designed really awesome. You will understand now. Okay, what exactly I planned as part of these two also you will see now. Okay. Okay, let's see the syllabus and the architectures. There you can raise your questions. And I have not placed like one more thing I'm testing. I have not placed Git here. Generally, as a traditional trainers, as part of that earlier, I was also part of that generally. I'll keep just a Git. I felt Git will be covered in each and every project. Why we need to write a Git as a separate one? No need, I felt. I will give you branching strategy, branching policies, and how you need to deal the Git in real time. That one will be there in this project, that one will be there in this project, that one will be there in this project, that one will be there in this project. Okay. It will be there everywhere. That's why I have not placed here, guys. Okay. But don't think like Git will not be called. Git is a part of basic thing, okay, which we should. All right, team. Right. I'm just going ahead. See, this is what exactly the networking services. I just placed all the possible networking concept which you should understand, especially when it comes to the Azure, GCP, and AWS. So I just placed everything here. I placed all the possible cases. Okay, all the possible cases I already placed. If you understand this one, that's more than enough to answer your interviewer and to do a project on your own. You don't require any third person assistance also while you are doing a project. Not really needed, team. Not really needed. Just going ahead. They are the common services and the task. Okay. That's where exactly I just mentioned. I mentioned some virtual missions. and what exactly the disk and images, how exactly these virtual machines are different from cloud to cloud, and how what exactly the availability zone, availability set, regions, and across all the cloud. I will cover these concepts actually, how exactly this particular thing, and also importance of jump hosts connecting to DB using, and how exactly the firewalls are really playing a role here, security groups and inbound output node setup. Only this is a specific scenario team. You will definitely come across in real time. Okay, connection to the database, common thing. Next one is the storage services. I just placed all the possible storage services which are really needed across three clouds. And you no need to read all these things. You don't understand now, right at the moment, right? Anyway. Next one, I'm just going for the Docker concepts team. Virtualization containerization. What is exactly the Docker? How to install a Docker? How exactly the Docker commands? What are the commands are there? And how exactly you can running container, interact on the detached mode, and creating a custom image and Docker Hub login, pushing an image to Docker. This is purely cloud agnostic. I haven't touched any cloud here. This is a Docker basic concept. Okay, I haven't touched any cloud. But when you go for the project, this is what I'm going to simulate for you. I'm going to cover Azure Container Registry, Elastic Container Registry, and GCR. I think that's typo. I think this is for the Google Cloud. Okay. So, and I'm going to simulate your project specially by using this hosting environment. This is also very important for you, this particular thing also. See, I'm going to cover especially here Java application container with a database, React application with a container. Generally, you should know how to deploy an application into this app service, ECS. This is a new one. It's not like a regular one. Regularly, we will use Kubernetes, but in AWS, we don't see any such kind of services. That's why I'm deploying a similar to that one, which is a ECS. That's where exactly I'm picking up. And here is App Engine. So this hosting is compulsory for you guys, because some cases, if the guys are not strong in Kubernetes, they will ask you to deploy into these areas only. These areas only they will ask you to deploy. But you should know how to deploy that one. Okay. I'll cover two technologies, especially here. One is Spring Boot Java with the database. Another one is React application. Okay. Because if you can deploy Python also, you can deploy Angular also, you can deploy other technologies also. If you are keep on going in the technologies wise, it obviously it will kill our time. Okay, I'll show you how exactly you should deploy, and rest one I will guide. I'll guide you. I'll guide you taking some project. I'll give you as a homework. Okay, I will review that, and later we will see in the further class also if something is not works out. Okay, all right. Kubernetes, I placed in depth, guys, because Kubernetes is must for you. Okay, so generally we'll start Kubernetes discussion, especially with Azure cloud only. That's where exactly I just placed. Okay, how exactly this architecture, understanding the AMLs, the parts and part lifecycle, and expose services, class typing, node port and load balancer, and how exactly you can prepare the bomb. Bomb refers to bill of materials. In real time, this is one of the interesting one. Your company guys will ask you, customer will ask you, can you please give some estimation? Can you please give some estimation? Then you should not get any panic, right? Because you don't know how to give estimation. You don't know how to prepare that one, right? You should have some template where by using that template, you can simply fill the value and share that particular thing with your customer. That's it, right? So that is also very important. Okay, we should not miss a even single point. Okay, next one, the architecture and creating a deployment. How exactly you are just installing kubectl, and how to connect to the Kubernetes cluster, and understanding the Kubernetes commands and the AK setup process, especially in the basic security. This one, and difference between the AKS public and the private clusters. I started. Sorry, I will definitely start your discussion with your Azure Kubernetes. Okay, Azure Kubernetes, because we are dealing with the multi-cloud, right? We no need to go with a standalone Kubernetes and the VMs and all. That and all will waste of our time. Okay, we no need to fall into that, because that is also very easy only. But I don't want to cover that; it's waste of time. Okay, if you go further concepts again, how exactly you can deploy to the multi-clusters using same VM, how to connect to the VM private DNS, and there are few techniques actually. Your cluster is sitting here, your VM is sitting in another VNet. How you can make a connection? Is there any possibility? These are definitely you will face in real time. That's where you need to understand about the pairing, private DNS zone, and VNet link. These concepts you will understand in detail. And how exactly you can create a service as secrets, and how exactly you can access the secrets and replica set, and how to form an external load balancer or internal load balancer. What exactly the drawbacks of the Kubernetes services? why we need to go for the ingress, why we should understand about the ingress, and what exactly the different ways to best implement a project. That's where exactly I just brought up a very good, awesome project for you. This particular project, trust me, guys, if you know this project, I believe you can deal your Azure cloud easily. Okay, let me show the project for you. Okay, just a moment. Okay, I just want to show you the project so that I think you guys can take a look. Yep, somewhere. I just want to give a view on the project, guys. Okay, quickly. I'm just giving a view. So this is just a Azure cloud project which you are going to see. This is completely end-to-end architecture here. Okay, it's an end-to-end architecture where you're going to see this particular part, and there are some things specially you can take a look right. So I'm going to cover each and every service, whatever you're saying, friend or API management, application gateway, Ingress controller, and followed by where you're saying how exactly you can deploy ETL jobs. Also, I'm going to cover. And this is a message queuing system, which is event hub. Message queuing system. This is also little important in real time. And there is a database. How exactly the message queuing system, it's kind of a this is source and this is destination, how exactly the messages are traveling. So there is a queuing system exactly required for you in real time. So that's where exactly I just brought up this particular architecture. And here also we are just covering with some vector by Datadog. Veliro is a Kubernetes backup technique. Okay, it's a backup technique. And also here you are using application gateway team. Okay, all right. So here we are using nginx. Here you are using application gateway ingress controller. Two different ingress controller exactly you are going to use. So that's where exactly the end-to-end architecture, especially when we talk about the Kubernetes team. Okay, when you talk about the Kubernetes, that's the thing exactly we're going to see. Once that is over, next time just going for the GCP project. So GCP project also, again, GCP end-to-end project also, we are going to cover the same. Whatever the architecture just I showed you, same architecture, we will simulate in GCP. This is what exactly that particular architecture should be. I already formed the architecture. Okay, this would be your architecture. This particular architecture, you will cover a lot. See, API lawyer to the fabric one, there is a PubSub, exactly the message queuing system. And also, you are connecting the external disk and says Kubernetes engine, where you are connecting the cloud. SQL is the database, and secret manager to store your secrets, right? And VPC ultimately you are connecting the load balancer. This is how exactly this is APIC. This is what exactly you should understand. If you understand this one, easy for you to deal the real time cases, guys. Okay, very easy. Yeah. And you know how exactly you are making this deployment? You are making these deployments by using Argo CD, guys. It's clearly with Argo CD. You can take a look here. See, source repo, cloud build, container registry. It's a GitOps repo. By using this particular Argo CD only, you are going to make a deployment to the different environments in the GKE. So you are going to use Argo CD technique. By using that one only, we are going to simulate this one. All right. When I go for the AWS projects again I want to cover few more things with AWS EKS, okay, which are being missed with the AKS, because I want to distribute the knowledge across the clusters. Okay, see, anything is same, you can learn everything on one cluster also, but we want to interact furthermore with another cluster to learn some other concepts. So how exactly here the PVC config map secrets? I think the PVC is not being covered there. I think we can cover in any cloud, not an issue. And liveness probe, readiness probe, request limit, what exactly those things. And here in EKS, I think how what exactly the classic network and application load balance. And you will clearly understand Route 53 creating how you create a SSL insert manager and how to update the SSL in the Ingress. And I just want to show you the few more. This is what exactly your cloud AWS DevOps cycle. Okay, exactly this particular thing for the Kubernetes actually. This is the additional one. Okay, and you are going to see the AWS extra deploy also as part of your daemon set. And furtherly, I think I'll show you how exactly the canary approach or how exactly the blue green approach works in the deployment process. Okay, right. And finally, I have added another interesting one, which is a Kiali with Istio in Kubernetes. Okay, I want to show this particular part also. This is somehow a very less cloud only knows in the market. These kind of things you should understand. Okay. All right, team. Now, if I go further, so these are all the components which you are going to learn as part of this project, and this would be your architecture. Okay, because a lot more other things are also there. I have not placed each and everything. I think you will see the cloud watch and the cloud event breach and the SNS simple notification service. A lot other things are also there as part of the monitoring thing. I haven't added, but those things also will be covered. I placed I placed such things here. You can take a look all the components. Okay. I'll modify this architecture later when I have some time, team. Okay. All right. So, but on a high level view, I just placed how exactly your connection should be. Okay, that's what exactly I just placed. In AWS, I'm not only covering this project, I'm adding one more project. This is exactly will help you how exactly you are making a deployment to the ECS. Okay, ECS clusters. This is another one which you are going to see. This year you will get a solid knowledge on the VPC and also DevOps process on the ECS cluster. Planning to cover one more of that is for S3 bucket. This is also very interesting one, which I felt we can see this particular architecture also. The same concept, you are going to keep your static website in S3 and you are going to access that particular thing by using a CloudFront and Amazon Route 53. This is also very interesting project. Right. And you go for Azure. This is Azure components, end-to-end project components, and this is the architecture which I just before I showed you. And again, the deployment model, sorry, there is one more which I want to tell you, especially on the DevSecOps, right? I told you on the security which I'm going to cover. Infrastructure as a security and SAST and the Kubernetes hardening and SA and secret detection. So this particular concept, what exactly it will do, when the developer writes a PR, all these things will go through. If anything fails, that particular bug should be created, seeing that okay, there is a secret leak being detected. So create a bug and assign to an engineer. If all pass, automatically your pull request also pass. In this concept, we'll try to implement your DevSecOps model. Okay, this is the one exactly we will follow. See, just integrating doesn't make sense, right? The finally you should behave properly, saying that whether the PR is true or PR is not true. So then only it makes sense. If PR failed, then only they will be alerted. Developer will be alerted. That's why. All right, team. And further, I'm just going interesting one. Another one is the Jenkins end-to-end project with multi-cloud. This is what exactly I just mentioned, guys. Especially if you see this particular part, right? So there, I believe here also developer. I just placed Azure repos. Azure DevOps integration with Jenkins, this one. You are pulling the code where Git leaks are there, Sonar is there, dependency check is there, Trivy is there, all these things are playing here, and JFrog also integrated. And container registry specifically to scan your images, or whatever the image being scanned here, it will be pushed to the container registry. You can use any cloud container registry, it doesn't matter. And finally, what are the images there that you are going to deploy into the VM, that you are going to deploy into the Kubernetes, that you are going to deploy into the ECS or EKS or GKE? That's your wish. You can deploy into anything, okay? But you should understand the concept here, how to connect. That matters. Okay? That's all it is. All right. So DevSecOps security is also covered as part of this particular model, okay? And another one. This is another interesting one which I placed. One more thing I added. By using same Argo CD, this combination only you are going to use. Okay, this is the latest DevOps model. By using Argo CD, how you can deploy to Azure, how you can deploy to AWS, how you can deploy to GCP. This is what exactly I mentioned Argo CD with multi-cloud. This is Jenkins with multi-cloud. This is Argo CD with multi-cloud. Understand the difference, guys. Okay. Yeah. Those are I just added as part of the add-ons, but of course these are also needed for you to survive in the industry. And Terraform. This is not like a regular topics here. You can read it, okay? Terraform importance in real time, Terraform setup in Azure cloud. I'll take one cloud and I'll show you the Terraform because I cannot show you all three clouds, right? Because I'll show you one cloud. You can try for other clouds. If three clouds, definitely it will kill our time, okay? Maybe I can show you the technique how to connect with other clouds, okay? I'll show you how to write the script for the other clouds, but we will focus on one cloud. Otherwise, it will take time, team. Definitely, it will take time. This particular Terraform setup, this particular thing I planned for 10 sessions, literally, the Terraform, okay? See, Terraform setup, VM provisioning, attaching a disk, module importance, and how exactly you can model a framework, what real-time, say real-time framework, okay? And how you exactly you need to implement the framework, how exactly the pipelines will be there in real time, what exactly the advantages you are getting. And especially when it go for the dynamic blocks, this is a very interesting and tricky thing where people will fail, okay? That's where I dedicatedly place list of objects, map of objects, how exactly you can make use of this one, and Azure modules. And if you further to that, deep hands-on on the count parameter and how you can invoke a bash script by using Terraform template file and custom data, and provision local exec file, remote exec with examples, and React. Finally, I'm going to deploy a React.js project by using Terraform. That's what exactly I'm going to show. And further additional concepts also. Importance of null, importance of for each. These things also I'm going to show you guys. Okay, that's exactly the Terraform. And interesting, another one, Ansible. Don't think like, okay, I have not placed or 10 to 20 lines of Ansible, but this covers a lot. Each and every line here will take us 1 to 1.5 hours discussion. Okay, let me tell you. So Ansible intro and importance, and Ansible and Terraform. I'm going to integrate Terraform with Ansible, guys. Okay, that's what exactly the interesting we'll see. And the Terraform Ansible ad hoc, how exactly you can apply ad hoc commands by using Terraform and Ansible, and especially the playbooks, and how you can import multiple playbooks, how you can write a conditions inside the playbooks. All these things I will show you. And especially Ansible playbook use cases with custom roles. Generally, how to use a role and how to define a custom role, what exactly the things you should follow. And special use cases are with me. I will deal the use cases. And how you can control the cost, especially in the cloud cost, by using Ansible techniques. Is there any techniques out there? That's what exactly we will see. And further to that, their Ansible framework and the pipeline discussions and executions is very important. Okay, without these kind of frameworks or the pipeline, you cannot set in the real time. If you know Ansible, that doesn't really help you, but you need a pipeline, you need a framework to just mention to other colleagues also in your company, just follow this framework or pipeline. And how you can make sure the Ansible with the Docker. I'm going to simulate this particular one of the best use case which I can tell, how you can deploy a Docker container by using an Ansible pull command. The very important command, this command Ansible pull. And next one is Ansible Helm chart, especially very interesting one. I told Argo CD so far, right? There is one more which is a counterpart for that, which is a Flux CD. Okay, how exactly you are making sure your Helm charts are being deployed with the Flux CD and implementation. I'm going to show this particular part by using Ansible. Okay, but the concept will be covered. That's all exactly the majorly which I just planned for you guys. Okay, and especially Azure, I think I will cover, or especially think one architecture is still missing, I believe. To draw the architecture especially for the Azure cloud, I think I will place that one also. So those are all the things exactly which I'm planning to cover, guys. Definitely our 2.5 months may not be enough. Some cases we may need to extend for 3 months also. Okay, we may need to extend for 3 months also. So there is a possibility which we may need to extend, because we will cover only crack sessions on Monday to Friday, right? So obviously monthly you're getting only 20 sessions, right? 20 sessions, 20 20 20, 60, 50 to 60 are enough for me to cover all this concept. Now you guys can raise your questions, team. Yeah, it's time for you. Yeah, guys, you can raise your questions now. You guys there?
Sir, with this experience, with this curriculum, how many years of experience we can put on to?
5 years, 4 to 5 years. Okay, 4 to 5. You can keep more than that also, but I'm not recommending that. Okay, 4 to 5 is enough, because this is a multi-cloud concept, right? This is definitely no, you cannot get in 2 3 years. You should be in the industry at least from 4 to 5 years. Then only you can understand these things, guys. Okay, that's why.
Dinesh, hi, good morning. Would you also include any session to explain the generic troubleshooting issues that we normally face
You know
while
one thing, yeah,
implementing these?
very good. I got you, Mukul. Very good question. Generally, I will show you practically first. Okay, then you will try from your home. If you face an issue, we have a WhatsApp chat where we will be there. That is one thing. If I don't find time to reply you on the WhatsApp chat, again in the immediate class, first you can shoot your question. You can share your screen. Okay. First, I will see the problems what you guys are facing. Then only we'll proceed for the discussion. Yeah, that's a common practice we'll follow, Mukul. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, my question was more regarding once I
Mm.
complete the course, then how should I develop my approach to, troubleshoot issues on my day-to-day
Okay.
basis?
Okay, Mukul.
Yeah,
I
like
got
how
you.
to read
So
the
you
errors.
are. Hmm. So Mukul, to be frank, okay, to answer Mukul and all guys, if you really attend this session without missing anything, maybe if you miss one or two, maybe you can go through the recorded videos. If you really do that, I don't think so you guys really need any other person assistance, guys, mostly. Okay, not required, not required. You know why I'm saying this one very confidently? Because we are going to do complete a practical and the real time projects only. Okay, you already experienced the same thing here. The same thing you are going to do in your organization also. With little confidence, just confidence is required from your end. You should not think like you still don't know. You should think like you already learned a lot. Definitely you can find solution on your own if you search across multiple websites. If you still think or something is still missing, if you still think, guys, I'm just telling, if you still think something is still missing, then definitely you can just post the message in our group. Our group will be anyway active, right, Mukul? The group will be anyway active. Okay, you can post over there if something is required. If really you got stuck over there, you are unable to proceed, I'll be there for you. Don't worry. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
but I
Because right
cannot
now,
promise. Yeah, I cannot promise every day or something like that. Because anyway, I have my own team as well, guys. Okay, I have my own team. They are specialized in Springboard, React, front end, automation, and the DevOps areas. Okay, I have my own team. If you guys
okay,
required any at the moment also, if you guys required any further industry assistance, or you guys are struggling in doing some projects, you can reach me out. Okay, okay, my team will assist you immediately. But what I'm telling, as part of this program, you can handle your problems on your own. Okay, that's definitely possible. If you're still unable to sort it out, then we can think about that case. Yeah,
okay, thank you.
Mukul, started, right? Yeah, all right.
Yeah, I have just one more question, Dinesh. So
Mm,
right now,
mm,
as I'm working, I'm actually working as a DevOps engineer. But the
cool.
problem is, what I've noticed is that doing the course and actually implementing it require other skills as well. Like till now, I have not been able, I mean, I've not gained the exposure to work with an architect directly. So there is a senior DevOps lead in my team. He basically interacts with the architect, gathers all
Mm,
the requirements, and then he implements them. So right now, what I think is that one of the skills is to actually, converting these business requirements from the architectural point of view into engineering, uh, specifications, just like you mentioned, the POM detail set
mm,
a DevOps
mm,
engineer can share. So,
mm.
is there anything that you would actually guide through, like how to conduct those discussions and basically navigating through these technical discussions when you actually need
Mm,
to convert an
okay.
architectural requirement into uh, engineering?
Mm. Your question is very interesting, Mukul, actually. Okay. Maybe you can come up with some examples, okay? Oh, I'm very happy to discuss actually. Okay. Guys, okay, one more thing from my end. I'm always happy to accept things whatever you guys are telling. And also I'm always happy to learn along with you guys. Okay. Now Mukul is telling some different thing for me, where some architecture requirements are there, where you guys he needs to convert that one to the engineering requirements or DevOps requirements. I want to see what exactly such requirements, why Mukul's struggling also. Yeah, this is interesting, Mukul. Yeah, we will see this. What exactly required for you? Okay, no worries on that.
Sure, sure, Dinesh. All right, thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
Just sorry to take too much time. Just that what I understand is that one needs to have some architectural level understanding of, like, the cloud as well, so that
No,
whenever these
yes,
discussions happen,
yes,
so you need to
yes.
come up with the
No,
right,
yeah,
VMs and
correct,
security
correct.
measures and all those things.
You're right. You're right, Mukul. So that's why I'm covering and I'm showing. If you guys notice one thing, I showed end-to-end architectures. You guys notice, right, guys? That is really needed. The end-to-end architecture. There are reasons for that. You know how to implement end-to-end architectures, and you know where to implement the security. You know the best practices if you know the end-to-end architecture. But if you know only deployment to Kubernetes, that doesn't really give any exposure on the industry. Okay, you cannot, Mukul cannot talk anything with his architect, senior architect, whoever it is. But if Mukul knows the architecture, he can rise, hey, architect is something you are doing wrong here. I think we should not do this. this particular security group is wrong one which you are attaching for all the services. That level of confidence you should get, Mukul, out of this program. Okay. Yeah, you should talk in that way. Yeah, that's exactly the motto behind. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Any other? Mm,
Yeah, hi Dinesh.
I saw
Uh,
Arnav.
good
Yeah.
morning.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, hi Dinesh. Good morning. So actually, as you mentioned, you're gonna show a Kiali service with Istio. So you will show
Mm.
Kiali service only or complete Istio?
No, complete istio. No, not only just like
Oh,
that,
okay.
okay? Not at all just like that. So what are the things I'm just placed, and even if you guys something I missed here, guys, please just mention me, okay? You may tell, hey,
Yeah,
Dinesh seems to be this is being asked in the market heavily nowadays. Okay, just tell me, I will add that one to syllabus, okay? I'm happy actually. Yeah. So it's in detail I will show you, Arnab, okay? It's not like it just like that one. I don't want to move just like that. In detail I will show you istio. Okay? Yeah.
yeah. And one request I wanted to do, if you could add a Terra grant along with the Terraform, because most of
Actually,
the companies are asking a Terra grant. Yep.
really,
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
before before batch I added TerraGrant. I skipped TerraGrant now. I felt I don't see much value add on the TerraGrant. No. I can simply add that one, not an issue,
Okay.
not at all a challenge for me because I we already did a project. Okay, we have a framework also. But what I felt that's not being asked in the job description. Just they are going for the Terraform. But TerraGrant, if you say interviewer will think what is TerraGrant, okay, generally then there is a chance for you to talk about that one for some time. Okay, we
Right.
can deal that case what I felt earlier before batch it was there. Okay, I skipped for that for them also, which is not really needed. Instead I just introduced Jenkins for them. Okay, instead I felt Jenkins is being asked heavily in the market. Then, if you guys really think TerraGrant is required, then at least I will support you by sharing my recorded one. Otherwise,
Right.
we'll do one
That will be fine.
one second.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that will be
TerraGrant.
fine.
I'll share the recorded one. Yeah, no worries. Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Thanks. Thanks.
yeah,
Thank you.
no worries.
Good.
Okay. So, any other guys? If you guys are seeing any other architecture where your company is having this architecture, I'm very happy to see that, and I'm very happy to implement and happy to share with others also, guys. Okay. Anything or any challenges, any kind of different techniques which you guys are seeing, let me know. Okay. Any other guys? That's all. No questions. Okay. So I believe someone said this was sent to privately. Click a real private message. I will share these slides first presentation. Mukul, I think this particular slides maybe at the moment I cannot because further one or two architectures which I still need to add. Okay, I still need to add. Okay, so once everything is sorted, then I will check with Visualpath. Will that be okay or not? I think then I will share. Okay, not an issue because the thing is okay. Some information I think which is from my real time companies also being included. I just noticed. Okay, I need to clean it. Okay, so that's the one thing I changed, which I got to know while I'm presenting. Okay, okay. Next one, I believe that's the only question I have. Okay, so when another one, we can get resume. How we can put these skills projects I have curious to see. We can get resume. How we can put these skills and project I have curious to see. Yeah. So generally, I can review your resume if you guys have prepared something with this technical stack. I can provide some resumes, some sample resumes. I think those are enough, right, to prepare your resume, right? So resume building is really a very good technique. It's not like a regular one. That is the first impression usually will give for the technical recruiter or whoever the recruiter also. So obviously resume preparation, I feel it's a different skill also. I can think, okay. It's not a just like that a Word document filling the stuff, right? I believe Sridhar, I can definitely take a review once you guys are fulfill all these things. But you will usually understand, right? See, when I'm telling one thing with the Jenkins deployment to multi-cloud, you can say, yes, I have got one project specially where we need to deploy a service specially from our Azure DevOps services to multi-cloud. That's where the requirement is. And why they are going for multi-cloud? There are reasons for that. Because customer may not trust one cloud. because the customer don't want to trust only with a single vendor, which is Azure. That's why they are going for AWS GCP. A second one, the region is different, so the customer base is in different place. So that's, sorry, you're not mentioned Maven. Oh, sorry, yeah, those things and all will be part of your that's why, guys. Okay, you're very self raising one more point. You're not mentioned Maven, Nexus, JFrog, and curriculum. Are you using ECR, ACR, or no? No, Sridhar. Okay, it's a guys. Okay, please understand one thing. Git, Maven, JFrog, these kind of small things, I really don't want to place here. Okay, those things will be covered in your project. Okay, Maven. Without Maven, I cannot do Spring Boot Java project, or I can use Gradle also. It'll be covered Maven as part of that one. And JFrog, I showed you on the Jenkins how we are going to integrate. All right, Sridhar team, understand, right? So those things, because if I keep all those things, it will become some 50, 60 slides, which doesn't make sense for me at all. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to project heavy things on the PowerPoint slide. I want to project what projects is going to be covered. Okay, what kind of knowledge you guys are going to get. Yeah. Clear, Sridhar? Any other guys?
Sir, it is covering Azure also.
Yeah. That's the first thing, Srinu. Okay. See,
But
it will
three
be
clouds are
covered.
covered.
Especially, yeah, three clouds will be covered. So that's the thing. Generally, Azure, AWS, GCP, you guys will understand how DevOps works. Azure, AWS, GCP, how networking storage works. Azure, AWS, GCP, how Kubernetes deployment works. Azure, AWS, GCP, how project works. Azure, AWS, GCP, how you can make the deployments by using Jenkins Argo CD. I believe this is ultimate syllabus, which I can think. Okay. If you guys think
Yes.
anything is still missing, let me know, guys. Okay. I'm happy to add it. Okay.
OpenShift, sir, it is the one tool has the OpenShift tool in it is a popular OpenShift tool.
No, the point is okay. I haven't got any exposure on that. Maybe I can learn and I can teach you guys. Okay, Mm,
Okay.
that's a good one. Okay, I'm seeing that one also. Yeah, maybe I can add that one. Maybe eventually, not at the moment. I'm not promising. Also, I will deliver, but
Okay.
definitely just remind me going forward. Remind me
Okay.
going forward. I'm also interested to see that. Okay, definitely. Yeah, we'll go through that one also. Okay, I will add that one
Okay.
as a bonus lecture.
Okay. Thank you.
Dinesh, after completing this course, what are the relevant certifications one should do to demonstrate multi-cloud skills?
You can try CKA for Kubernetes point. First I'm talking CKA, CKS. Okay, easily you can clear. No doubt in that. Okay, because I'm going to discuss uh, the real-time possible questions and answers with you. Okay, directly you can attempt that exam. And the second one you can try for AZ305, which is Design Solutions for Azure. Okay, Design Solutions. You can not only DevOps certifications, huh? Not only DevOps. I'm not talking about only DevOps certifications. I believe if you could make solution architect certifications, Mukul, the problems whatever
Okay.
you raised out so far, those things and all you can address with your senior architect. Okay, you should do 305. Example, I'm just telling. Okay, in the same way, other cloud also you should do the solution architect certification. When you are doing solution architect certification, the only advantage usually you guys will get, guys, you will understand how the cloud works. You will understand the real-time scenarios and problems. Whatever Mukul mentioned, a lot of scenarios and all that. Those things and all you will see as part of that particular certification. You will know how to deal the cases. Okay, but don't ever think like don't underestimate yourself, guys. Easily you can deal the solution audit and design solution certifications. Okay. CKS and solution architect designing solutions, these certification on the three clouds comfortably. And the Terraform, of course, Terraform associate you can attempt. I think those certifications are enough, I believe. Okay, those are enough. Yeah.
Okay, Dinesh, last question from my end. One thing that I personally face some difficulty is whenever there is a new language on which the developers are working, so I need to understand how the build is done for it to
No, that's very
make
easy,
my Docker
bro.
file.
I
Yeah, I know,
understand.
but
See,
how
mm,
to do it like in your local, like whenever you have any commit for a new language, file structure in your repository, how do you build it in your local? If you can help with any resource to, I know there are like
mm,
separate YouTube videos or something to do that, but is this the
mm.
right approach to understand the build and how to create a Docker file?
No, Yeah. Generally, this is a common problem only, generally for the DevOps engineer. So when they are using some new technology like Golang or some other .NET or any other technologies, generally, what exactly you need to do, how he's building locally is matter actually, Mukul, okay? Because that's where exactly the collaboration with the developers are real needed for the DevOps engineer. Okay? How he is doing. If you could really build that one locally, that particular project, I think similar commands you will use in the Docker file. And you will take a base image on top of it, you will apply the commands, whatever he's submitting, and you will expose the port and you will keep the run command. That's all right. No, I'm
Yeah,
just
right.
talking about the basic template, okay? Now, however he's passing, in the same way you also will pass, and you will search if it is a new technology, if it is something like some Scala, some Python. Obviously, we will search and we will see some references and we'll write a good Docker file. Okay. Yeah. Even writing Docker file is also a skill. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, hi,
Okay.
Dinesh.
So
This is here. Okay.
yeah, funny.
So you
Yes.
have been, you are most concentrating on the Azure, or are you going to be doing on the, as you are stating that it's a multi-cloud, right? So most of that
Mm.
in our market,
Okay. No, no,
AWS is
I got it.
percent
I got you,
spread on
funny.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me answer. Okay. We are going mainly on the Azure. You know one thing, the Terraform Ansible also integrations tied to Azure. Okay. That's the first thing. So you will come across more and more on Azure. Along with that, you will never feel like you don't know anything about other clouds. Those things with the projects covered, right? So obviously, you will be at the same level in other clouds also. That's what my feeling exactly. I want to tell you guys. Okay. Okay. Even I can only come up with Azure Cloud syllabus, guys. I can because my share is same whatever the syllabus I come across. That doesn't matter actually for me. But intentionally I brought this multi-cloud. Okay, though I think some are clearly telling multi-cloud definitely because I know the importance of the multi-cloud in the market. Okay, why I'm telling multi-cloud very in a stressed way, the reason for that one is what projects usually I'm getting is also multi-cloud only nowadays. Okay, I'm getting that. Then obviously the candidates also should have the solid skill in this area, and you no need to be 100% on the cloud. At least you should know the core services. That's what the main point here. Okay, if you could understand the core services, extending your knowledge for furthermore services is very easy, right? So if you know already the VPC and the NAT gateway or internet gateway works, easy for you to set up a new project. Though that's what my intention here, guys. Okay.
So we are
So
going to compare the all the three things and
yeah,
execute.
correct. You're absolutely right. Okay, absolutely right. Yeah, it's completely a different skill, guys, for you. Okay.
Because some
Uh,
terminologies will be different for the different
correct.
things.
Correct.
Clouds.
Obviously, the terminology will be different. You will never say to your service company as say you don't know GCP. You will say, yes, I know GCP. I did two projects in GCP. I have knowledge. That's it, right? That's enough for you to get a new project. Okay. Yeah.
And one more thing is what are the things that you are going to concentrate tools that in monitoring and all those things.
Yeah, especially on the monitoring side, which is observability stack. I think I want to cover especially which I mentioned already, which is especially with respect to the Kubernetes, which you see all cloud has its inbuilt or cloud native monitoring first. Okay, which is Azure Log Analytics Workspace, Azure Monitor, CloudWatch, and next when you go for CloudWatch and Container Insights, when you go for the GCP, you can see the Cloud Monitor. So all these things will be covered as part of your project, no doubt. If you know only these things, that may not be enough for you again. That's where I'm bringing up some Promptile, Loki, Grafana for the Kubernetes, dedicated to the Kubernetes, and the ELK integration as well. These things will give an value add for you guys. Okay, and Vector by Datadog, another one. Okay, these things I will show you with one cloud so that you can apply for other clouds. See, if you ask me to do Terraform for three clouds, ask me to do Ansible for three clouds, it's a waste of time. Agree? That's why I'll show for one cloud. You try for other two clouds because you have the knowledge already. You got it right, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm talking complete practically, guys. Okay, which is impossible. Impossible to cover this one in 3 months. Okay, that syllabus what I thrown on on the screen, that is impossible to cover in 3 months. If you could really do the Terraform and so for other tasks, that's where yeah, that's where exactly I will cover your things completely Terraform for one cloud. Okay? But rest all projects and all I will show you in other clouds also. Okay. Only Terraform Ansible will be covered for one cloud. Projects and all will be shown on other clouds also, guys. Okay. That's all. Yeah. Anything else? Okay. You can cover the complete Azure DevOps or you are leveraging Azure Infra to integrate with the DevOps tool. Why? Because in Azure DevOps, come across Azure Repos, boards, Azure Pipeline. See, okay. So Sridhar asked a very good question. Azure Repos will be part of your Jenkins project, whatever I showed you already. Azure pipelines, without that, I cannot implement the project either. Azure boards is the one exactly mainly will be used by the Scrum Master. But I can take one session, what exactly Azure boards and why you are using that one, what is the use of that one. And the test plan is dedicatedly for the testers, the test manager, which they can use in Azure DevOps. I can give you a view how exactly this works as well. Yeah. These are all, Sridhar, these are all some small things which you guys are also can extend your knowledge on your own, guys. Okay. Yeah. So that's the only the thing I just want to convey. But if you guys want me to explain that, of course I can. I can extend one more session. I can explain, not an issue. Yeah. All right, guys. I think I need to move to another meeting. Yeah. Thank you very much for joining the session, guys. You can connect with the institute on the start date. Okay. And we'll be in touch. Yeah. Thank you very much. See you all. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.